Everybody, we are back. It is Taped on Launch, favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite everything. We are back. You already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also, follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at BD Williams 18 for BD. All right. And also Panda Supplements, Panda Subs, use TDL for 35% off. Panda Subs, use TDL for 35% off. Make sure you guys go ahead and check that out. Make sure you guys go ahead and support that, pandasupplements.com. Now, BD, what we're doing today, we're doing a little Patriots review episode. Going over, the win 30-24 with the miraculous win. Everybody's talking about two things that happened. They're talking about the catch in the corner and the Chandler Jones play. Those are the main two things that we talked about, over and over again.
Right. So I'm going to go over the Chandler Jones play just because, you have to add that in. And it worked into the theme of, what I wanted to talk about today. So that's why I added it in. Are you going to go over that Keelan Cole play?
Yes, I am. I'm going to go over the Keelan Cole play of the corner. But I'm not going to really go into whether he was in or not. I really don't care that much.
I mean, he was in. It was a touchdown officially in the history books of the NFL. That's a touchdown, so he was in.
I watched a lot. When I was watching it live, I was like, man, they better not reverse that. When I was watching it, I don't care how much, maybe tiny bit of white he was touching. I'm like, they call it a touchdown. They better not reverse it because you can't tell. That's what I was thinking. Like, you can't tell.
All right, well,
I can make the case that he
right.
had his foot down.
That's what they ended up saying. So you had it. I mean, I feel like Raiders got worse, things that were closer and that looked, more like we were going to get it and we didn't get it. So I was surprised. We got one that was borderline and it went in our favor. But I mean, there was a lot more than that went in the Raiders' favor. So I'll also go over those things as far as defensively, what was happening. But I'm curious, what you thought of these backup offensive linemen that came into the game. What was going on with those guys? Anything good?
I mean, they look like backup offensive linemen. I mean, that's not really anything special. I thought Grassu had some good run blocks. I thought he looked better in the run game than definitely than the pass game. I thought Meredith was definitely the opposite. I mean, I think he looked a little bit better in the pass game than he did the run game. But, they look like backups. They look like guys that, I guess, Grassu is almost 30 years old. I mean, Jordan Meredith, that was his first ever NFL game, NFL action, really, for real. So, that's what they look like. They look like players that kind of some journeyman offensive linemen that, they got a chance to play for maybe their first starts in a long time. And, that's how they looked. Grassu, I think Grassu didn't play that bad. I mean, in my opinion, I don't think he was terrible. I thought he was okay. I thought they, when Parham went down, the whole game plan had to change the running the ball. I mean, they had to go more zone and running the football, and that didn't work. It wasn't much power football they could run, not as much ISO lead because, Jordan Meredith, he doesn't have that push really to get those guys moving. So you had to have more finesse, more outside zone, more of those looks. And, it wasn't working too much for them because we talked about in the preview, they were good against outside zone, but bad against power. And the game started with them running power and they were getting some push, getting some movement. And then they had to switch to a lot more wide zone, outside zone. Didn't work as much. And then if they tried power, it didn't work because Meredith can't come around that corner. So it's going to be interesting if Parham is hurt for real, what they're going to do at guard.
Right. I mean, that could just be a timing thing. Meredith might be able to get around the corner and be, a puller, improve in that aspect a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, it'll be a big step back if Parham is out for an extended period of time. Barr's already being out. Barr's is out for how long?
I don't know how long Barr's is out. I don't. But
he didn't get put up on the shelf though, did he?
No. So for what they want to do, they definitely want Alex Barr's back in there. For how they want to run the football. Because like I said, the outside zone stuff is not something they want to do really, but I think they can do because of Colt Miller's, Jordan Meredith. I think he feels more comfortable doing that. I don't know about Hornets Grasu. I think Andre James feels more comfortable in outside zone, in my opinion. I think he just blocks better inside zone. He gets that combo block help. He's not blocking as much 1-on-1. So zone just works better for the guys that were there from the previous regime because they were a zone run regime. So it's not too bad of a change up, but Jacobs fits that anyways. But it's just gonna be interesting.
So you're dead set certain they're gonna start running more zone. Like you're like,
I could look at my charting here. I'm pretty sure they ran a lot more zone. If they didn't run zone, it was like slant lead. They ran duo. Duo is basically the reverse inside zone. They ran inside zone, outside zone. These are all the runs from the second quarter on after Parham got hurt. Outside zone, inside zone. And then they'll do some ISO leads, but it really didn't get too much going there. Yeah, and then they just started passing after that. So, they run zone. After that, it was interesting. They had to, because Meredith tried to come around that corner once, and they're like, oh, yeah. Let's do some outside.
The timing was off.
So that's what I'm saying. So maybe this week they'll get a better chance to maybe switch it up and add the outside zone to the game plan, because I think it wasn't part of the game plan either. So they had to make some kind of switch, or they weren't going to be able to run the football like they wanted to. And the outside zones, they weren't really working either. I think 4 yards one yard the other. It just wasn't. It wasn't moving the ball like they wanted to. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do going forward with that, because maybe Meredith with some practice he can get it. Maybe Parham's not to hurt that bad, but they might have to go do some outside zone. But that's what Josh Jacobs does best. So you might get an awesome Josh Jacobs game this weekend. So,
well, if the offensive line is getting banged up, they're not able to run the ball. It's perfect timing, I guess. Seasons, I guess, I'm pretty much over. Mathematically, Raiders are still have like an outside shot, I guess, of advancing to the playoffs, 7 seed. So mathematically, chance is still there. But if that's the case, either way, great opportunity for Waller, Renfro to get back into the lineup. So I'm curious. I'm pretty excited to see what your breakdown is going to be covering, because I'm interested to see how the offense change in the passing game with Waller in the game. So,
Renfro didn't do too much, man. He had a really good sit down on a third 13. That was really good, but I don't think he really did too much other than that. I'm be honest. I think they kind of brought him in a lot slower, because Waller got the full offense right away. Like that, Waller was part of the game plan. That was not. Yeah, I know he got some snaps, but the reason why he's not on the field as much because they don't want him to block. They're like refusing to let him block at this point. They're like, you are not going to block. So he's a wide receiver on this team. I think it's a little bit of the change up is that he is purely the spread wide tight end. He'll sit in line. Of course, they'll do that. But he's in the game. I don't think they're going to be using him as a blocker. Frost and Bro will block. They were 12 personnel. Ran a lot more often. They ran some 13 with Mumford in there. So the 13 with Mumford in there, some 12 personnel, and I think that's gonna kind of. It's too late, but I think he does open up this offense, man. It was more exciting to watch. I'll tell you that. I've been bored lately. If you guys can't tell, I've been pretty bored. But they've been.
Yeah. So why don't we jump into it? Why don't we, why don't you show us what's shaking here?
All right. All right, so we're gonna start off just looking at how they're using Darren Waller and how he really opens up this passing game, I believe, and even opens it up for Adams. Adams opens it up for him. Okay, so let's check this first one out. This is a play action where we're gonna be getting basically the 10 concept, the levels concept, whatever you want to call it. You got the drive right here. Then you got the dig right here. I say drive is too much. I got so much West Coast in my life, right? And then you get what they call a stock route or a post route from Adams here. You get play action, right? And you kind of see, all the tension that Waller still gets. Okay, so they're playing quarters on the back end. They play a lot of quarters early on here, right? Play it, and then so you see a lot of tension that Waller gets. He opens this up because you even see McCourty. He's looking at Waller a little bit. He's looking inside. He's looking at some of these in routes. He's expecting McCarr to go, right? Which I really like I really like how they added this play because this is a play the Giants ran that I really like when they run two ends with the go instead of just the one end. But you see how it opens up everything for Adams, and this is a great play by Marcus Jones. This is an awesome play. That ball hit Adams in the hands. I mean, if he doesn't make that play.
Outside leverage, that's an incredible play.
Yeah. There. I mean, that ball's right in the money. Adam probably walks in for a touchdown on that one. All right, next one. Some more Darren Waller here. You kind of see how he opens everything up. Play action. Now, I mean, we get quick pressure on this one, but you see right here, kind of against this cover two, basically. See, it opens up in the seam. He's coming open in that seam right there, and that's kind of how they're going to use him. A lot of seam routes. Because they don't pick up this pressure here on the play action, but you see him right there coming up the seam. Right, I mean, that's probably going to be open right there. Judon's passing him off like that. Right? And then, of course, we got the touchdown here, which is, I mean, this is all Adams. So this one, they call this one Z ring. You get the return route. Then you get the drive route. Oh, sorry, I keep saying drive. The dig route right there. And then you get a fade from Adams. Okay? So check this one out. Of course, you get my man right here on the seam, Darren Waller. And this is when this was talking about. They using him up the seams, kind of, not really how they're using Foster Moreau is totally different. They're just kind of switching it all up, in my opinion. So check this one out. See him just beat Adrian Phillips off the line. Easy touchdown. Easy touchdown.
Cover zero. You want to do that?
Yeah, you burned. So, I mean, if it's cover zero, they only rush 3, though, so it's weird.
That's strange.
Right? Bill Belichick, man. I'm telling you. That's all Bill right there. All right, here we go. Next one. Gonna get the same look against Judon again, kind of the same scenes, but this is the end of the game. We're gonna see this play again. But same look. We're getting cover 5 this time, basically. A little bit of that right here. Right up the seams.
Cover 2.
And it is cover 2?
Yeah, cover 2.
Right there. Because I don't know, Marcus Jones up there. I mean, everything Bill does confuses me.
Yeah, they definitely for a second, show like man, like they're going to turn man, but then they drop off.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tricky. It's a little tricky. These guys.
Yeah, man. All right. You see this up the seams and how he just kills that like that. So yeah, I mean, Waller makes a huge difference in this offense, guys. Is a huge difference in this offense. It's a big deal. They need Darren Waller. I mean, he just opens up everything. But let's just start to go over this the final drive here. We're gonna start off with this first play, which I don't know what happened here on this one. We're getting goose though. We're getting everybody running 4 verts, which you like to call it, but just 4 verts. Everybody running go routes, right? You're getting go routes, and you kind of get what they call a bender route from Darren Waller, based on the coverage, he says too high. He takes it up. He sees single high. He supposed to keep it a seam. Sees too high, supposed to take it over on a crosser, right? Sorry, he sees single high, takes over the crosser. Too high, takes it up the seam. I apologize for that here, guys. Here we go. You see, for some reason, Derek Carr just tries to force his ball with anticipation. 200 Renfro, which, I appreciate the anticipation attempt here. But, my problem with this one is that, Josh Jacobs is just wide open. This is first down. And this is, kind of what we've been seeing from Carr a lot lately. It's just, there's a lot of room. If he just throws it right to Jacobs, these guys are dropping like crazy. Jacobs has a lot of room. He could probably get like at least 13, 14 yards, start this drive off on a good foot, because they had plenty of time. It's 2:11 on the clock. They had plenty of time. Hit him right there. But instead, we try to force that with anticipation. You see on the back end what he's trying to do. In this one, he didn't look, but he tries to fit this over this guy's head with anticipation and hit Renfro like on the money, like when he's on the run right there. But you just got to check it down, though.
I feel like that's not the type of play that Renfro makes, but
it isn't. But hey, it's like, All right, so here you go. Next one. I like this concept. It's like an end with a wheel here. We get a drop from Matt Collins. So basically, most of this concept right here, you get the in, right? And then you get a wheel here. Of course, then you get another crosser from Darren Waller here. Right? So you see the in with the wheel. Here's the coverage right here. Right? So Porter's coverage right there.
3 cloud.
Boom. But he dropped it. And he dropped that one. But the offensive line played pretty well on this last drive. Look at you, Jordan Marin's doing all right. Look at George. Look at that. There you go, Jordan. There you go. You got some good look from the offensive line on this last one right here. Good blocks, you know what I'm saying? Look, Colt Miller's a stud, man. He just balled all game. But that ball's right in the money, guys. He's got to catch that ball, man.
Good pass.
Good pass. All right, here we go. Another one. This one on the deep post. Where him and Hollins had a little bit of miscommunication on this one.
What coverage is this? Run that again. Let me see this. This is the double. Yeah, they're just giving up the middle of the field. They're giving away the middle of the field.
they're like
the seam to Waller is that same coverage, but they're doing it right and like a lot. That's a dangerous call, in my opinion.
Yeah. They're basically daring him to throw to Matt Collins.
I mean, that deep safety right there. He's not playing deep safety. He's cutting the crosser. And it's too late for that nickel to drop off to the post. I don't know if anyone does that in the NFL anyways.
Yeah. All right. So, they call this one circus. So, you see the post route right there. And then you see kind of the out route from Hunter Renfrow right there. And you get the end from Adams. And you kind of see, Adams, he just takes – everybody's looking at Adams. Everybody's around him. And that opens up for Matt Hollins. But my thing is, I don't know if, Hollins is running a post route, but he's running an over route. A lot of people are going to say like, oh, whatever. I don't know. But I just feel like he should keep running a post route. And I feel like he's just gone. I don't know where he's going, in my opinion. but then he drops it, which bothers me on the backside. So if he runs where Carr throws the ball, he catches it, and that's going to be shown because he's still, even though he runs the wrong route and he gets back to the spot where Carr throws it, he drops it. I'm kind of just a little frustrating for me. He just right there in his hands. But then like everything changed. I think they had a 2-minute warning, 4th and 10, and then all of a sudden it was a different football team. It looked like the team that should play offense all year. Here we go. Derek Carr. We're getting seam read. Sorry guys, I'm gonna get you here. You got seam read, which you got the comeback here, and then you got the seam. They call it read on this side, and you get a 10 on this side. Typical levels concept with the double digs. Right here. And Carr throws this with great anticipation right all the way before Matt Collins out of this break. This ball's already out of the air. First down on 4th and 10.
Trust, he kept on going back to Hollins. He said, hey, I'm not going to stop throwing to you.
Yeah.
You better catch it this time.
For the third time, or you're definitely the GOAT if you drop this one. If you drop this one, he's the GOAT. To go to the game if he drops that one. All right, but yep. We're going to do it. We're going to run the same play. Next play, we're going to come up, run the same play. We're running 10 read again. Same exact play. And, they're playing cover 3, right? So, I mean, they're doing all these different looks to make it look kind of different. I'm calling it quarters. It ends up being 3 clouds. So they're making everything look funky. So Josh McDaniels is like, okay, we're just going to run some out route for some comebacks. Right? I don't know what they changed after that. Unless they went to that when they went to the sideline after 2-minute warning, but it started working. Boom, another one on the sideline. This is a great anticipation throw by Derek Carr. This is what I was talking about. All of a sudden, it looked like the offense I thought I was going to see all year. It's just right, perfect timing. Look, he's throwing that ball before he's even out of his break.
Beautiful.
Right on the money, right out of bounds.
That's high-level execution.
Right there. Right, and then you can see some good block from the offensive line too. The offensive line got some good block from Grassley a little bit right there. I mean, I know Barmore's coming right there, but you see good pickup by Abdullah, some help, just enough time right there. But Carr got rid of that ball quick. That's what I like seeing. Get rid of the damn ball. All right, next one, and then the Patriots like, oh no, you're playing cover 3 all game. We're gonna switch it up. We're gonna you beat us a couple times. We aren't gonna do that again. They switched it up. I think Carr handled this pretty well, right? They changed up the coverage a little bit. I mean, doing all that single high, and so they went to cover 2, right? Kind of the same look. They're doing circus again. Carr does a good job of just going to check down now. That's what I'm saying. Now all of a sudden he wants to be quick and decisive to the check down. After I don't know what was happening in that first part of the drive. I mean, they were just all over the place, and now it just everything got. And look at this. Colt Miller did this like 3 times to different people. It's just driving him to the ground, man. He's a stud this game. He was a stud. He did it to Judon like 3 times. I ain't even showing it yet, but man, did he ball that game. All right. Next play. This is the play we already saw here. But you see the cover 2 look again. I mean, look, this is a good adjustment by McDaniels here. Go right back to the goose right here. Double go routes. 4 verts, whatever you want to call it. And this is another good throw by Carr here too. The guy's at his feet. He doesn't even step into this throw. Right here. It's another great block by Colt Miller. Colt Miller gets beat, but then boom, just throw him to the ground. Carr does a good job. Doesn't even step into this throw. It just throws a nice pass right there on the money. Right into a tight window. It's just all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. Like, man. Here's another play. Let me get some, I think Carr kind of bailed the pocket a little bit. I saw some guys fall, but maybe could have gave Hollins a chance there. kind of the same look. Now they switched up. Now they're in quarters, right? Now they're playing quarters.
Yeah.
Now see, no, we're not playing cover 2 no more. But I mean, really nothing there. People falling over and stuff like that. Maybe nothing. People say I never get props to the line. You see. This is a good pocket. Like you could have stepped up into something with that. Look at Meredith getting the pancake right there. See, look at Jordan Meredith. There you go, Jordan. You got a little help.
You got a little help.
You got a little help. All right. And then the final play, the play that didn't work. Now this play is funny to me too, because we're getting Goose again, right? We're getting the little 4 verts. For some reason they took Darren Waller out. I don't know why. Maybe he was tired. Not sure. But he's out of the game. Which I thought was interesting about this one. I mean, we're getting the same quarters again. They're running quarters again. And with this one is that, Hunter Renfrow, if he throws the same anticipation he's throwing to Keelan Cole on this one, he just throws it to Hunter Renfrow. I don't even think we talk about this as controversial.
I was looking at that.
Is that any controversial?
I think he has to wait just a little longer for Renfrow.
A little longer, a little bit. He could have. I'm not gonna do the Peyton Manning thing, but he could have. It's Brandon Stokely right there. But yeah. But this is still a great throw. It's a great throw. He's still great placement right in the back of the end zone. Gives the guy a chance to make a play on the football. A great catch by Keelan Cole, who's having trouble catching the football, and he makes a big catch when they need it.
My goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about coming up with one.
Yeah, man. But you're right. I was like, man, wouldn't even be any controversy. Touchdown. So, yeah, that's it, man. That's the drives right there. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, man. So, first of all, it's good to see Darren Waller back out there. This game plan that we saw from the Pats, a lot of doubling, a lot of cover 0. I don't think a lot of teams are going to try to replicate that. I don't think a lot of teams are built to even attempt that. So, there's if you're discouraged, you see, okay, Devontae Adams, he's getting doubled every single play. Well, that's kind of, like the brand of defense that they're playing is not going to be the brand of defense that every team is going to play against Devontae Adams and Darren Waller and stuff like that. So, I would say don't get discouraged, Raiders fans, if you're seeing that and that's the first thing that's entering your head. There's only 3 more games in this NFL season, but even going forward after that, both those guys on the field together with Jacobs in the backfield, well, whoever his back is next year. But it should still be potent. They're not, Devontae Adams is not going to be doubled every play. For every single play, every single game, it's not going to happen. No. But yeah. So we didn't have the Kyler Duggar play in there. You did talk about that.
Yeah.
Were you able to confirm that on film? You texted me something about that, right?
Yeah, that play is crazy because basically what happened on that one is that they line up and then he puts, Adams in motion just a little bit, right? And every time they put Adams in motion just a little bit, they run that play. So if they're lined up and he's under center, and you see Carr look to Adams, right? And then the emotions, it's the little tunnel screen type of thing that they like to do, right? So Kyle Duggar sees that, and he just changes the coverage. And I don't know if he was supposed to drive on that. I don't know if he was supposed to go back into quarters because, like I said, they were playing cover 3 the whole second half, but they didn't start playing cover 3 until after that. So I don't know if that was a cover 3 changeup, and because he wasn't in curl flat area in my opinion. Like I've watched cover 3 all the time. with Gus Bradley. He wasn't in curl flat area when that ball was about to be snapped, and he just kind of drove on that damn football. So,
yeah, it was incredible play, all pro play from Kyler Duggar. I mean, yeah,
it was nuts. I mean, there's really nothing they could have done. There's really nothing they could have done in that play, except not run it. I mean, Derek Carr could have that's pump faked, but then he had to throw the ball on the ground.
Yeah,
I mean, that's basically only thing he. It was
in hindsight.
It was done.
Should have done that. Just thrown it away.
It was over before to be honest, as soon as Davante Adams went in motion, the play was kicked off at 6. As soon as he went in motion.
Yeah.
Because
they were all over that.
Because I still think I can't say this for sure, but I think he made a check to Judon because Judon looks at Adams too when he moves. So Judon looks, I don't know, Chip maybe might be checking where he's at. Maybe he's on the line of scrimmage. I don't want to be, get too in depth, but they both look, and then Judon doesn't jump. Judon could have jumped because he tries to do a chop block, and he doesn't jump and try to knock that ball down. He just
yeah. Interesting.
They knew that was coming, bro. As soon as he moved.
Yeah, you need to have some tendency breakers going up against the Patriots. You can't be doing anything that you've done at all. So yeah, incredible. The other thing before we transition to defense, I told you not to talk too much trash about Marcus Jones because he's been coming on strong. So they were lining him up in the backfield on offense. He has an interesting role with this team. So that's pretty interesting to see him. I think earlier on in the season, if I remember correctly, he was struggling, and it seems like last couple weeks he's been looking better. And we saw him have a really good play in coverage against Devontae, and then just be a guy who's making plays out there. So Marcus Jones, we did the highlight. We covered him in the offseason. I wasn't a big fan of Marcus Jones. I saw him get beat a lot.
Yeah, Alex Pierce just dominated him, basically.
Yeah. All right. So anything else you want to talk about before we jump over to the defensive side of the ball?
Not too much. I mean, I thought, it's interesting, how the run game and the pass game, it's up and down. It's inconsistent. They should kind of shut down Davante Adams. They double teamed them all game, and then Derek Carr, I think he's a little stubborn. And then, I'm going to throw to Adams no matter what. And I think that kind of got in the way a little bit until he started to, realize that, hey, maybe I can throw to other people. And we started to see that a little bit later on in the game. But, I think that was a little bit of an issue. Do you avoid the double teams? Because their double teams were egregious. It's not like it was just some normal kind of shade. No, it was just like the one where Darren Waller's wide open. That's an egregious double team. I would get that's
right.
That is a bracket, literally. So
I mean, and in those situations, you have to throw it elsewhere, and the guys aren't good enough to win their one-on-ones, and they're not good enough to win the NFL.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. And that's what we saw at the end. I mean, those guys, Keelan Cole won. Matt Collins was winning, but he's dropping the ball. They had another one, a deep ball on the 2nd and 10 on the previous drive that they almost hit on Collins. That ball was just off his fingertips as well. So, I mean, I think they got to sometimes they just got to spread the ball around sometimes. And I know that's going to piss some people off. And some people are going to be like, well, why'd you throw to Adams if they lose? That's what's going to happen. I mean, that's the fear, right? Right? Because that's all everybody talks about. If they lose, why didn't we throw to Adams? But sometimes, it fits, man, especially if you got Waller and Renfro back out there. You don't have to. Yeah.
Waller especially.
Hell yeah.
He dipped his toes in. We shook some of the rust off in this last one, and hopefully we see him out there blocking some more. But we'll see if he's just next. That's interesting. That is interesting. I'm thinking I have to pay him like a wide receiver. That's good.
That's what I'm saying. Why Seeves, Mr. Seeves here, dog? I mean,
you better get some reps in there in line. Save yourself some money, okay? Better don't just line them up exclusively at X. The agent's gonna have a field day with that.
Oh man.
Not be able to afford him anymore. All right. Okay, so we're going to transition over. We're going to jump over to the defensive side of the ball. I thought it was an interesting defensive performance. Not very good in most aspects. One of the worst games defending the run this year that we've seen. And then obviously, Patriots had a tough time throwing the ball. Only 112, I think, yards passing in this one. From Mac Jones, 112 yards passing, 3.6 yards per completion.
Good Lord, it's ugly.
Pretty bad. Only 13. Only 31. Yeah, it's only 13 completions in this one. I mean, some of that was on Mac Jones, some of that was on drops. They didn't look like a well-oiled machine. So thankfully for that. Otherwise, they would have handily won this one from the Raiders. And so here, I'll just jump into it and I'll show you exactly why I'm saying that. All right. So first of all, let's look at the run game. Uncharacteristically poor rushing performances. 38. Watch Ramondre Stevenson. He's going to get the ball in this one from the Raiders defense. They've been playing the run well up until the last couple of weeks. And the problem is Andrew Billings is out. And so now we got Jerry Tillery taking a lot of those reps. So watch him on this play right here. Okay, he's going to get double teamed, and watch him just get walked all the way back. Oh, my goodness. This is exactly where the running back wants to run, and he just gets displaced. Okay, Jared Tillery. All right, that's unfair. It's a double team. Okay, watch him when he gets singled. All right, just takes himself out of the play, gets all the way upfield. Okay, well, that's unfair. It's a draw play. Okay, all right, got you. Let's watch this one here. All right, he's going to get double teamed again. Driven all the way back. Oh my goodness. You see how far he's getting driven off the ball? I mean, literally, where they're running the ball is exactly where Jared Tillery was. Past tense. So, not excusing other guys. There's definitely other guys making mistakes on this one here. Would like to see, better effort from everyone. But the common denominator in the poor run defense as of late truly has been Jerry Tillery. He's in his best spot as a guy who just gets into the backfield and comes in as a sub rusher. But when you ask him to lower his pads and stop the run, you see he's a big, tall guy. It's easy for guys to get underneath him. You see him on this play. First, he takes himself completely out of the play, turns back around, gets blocked again out of it. He can't lower his pads. He's too tall. Gets moved around way too easily. Here's another one. I forgot how many of these I have here. Okay, yeah. Double team. Watch him. He tries to go down to one knee so he doesn't get moved, but still, they just drive him all the way out of that hole. Coincidentally, exactly where the running back wants to go is exactly where Jerry Tillery was. Okay, look at this. Smack dab in the middle of the field. Where does the running back run? Smack dab in the middle of the field. They were going after Jerry Tillery, and it was working. Okay, here we go. Last one. This one's terrible. It's one-on-one. Okay, finally, we got a one-on-one. Yeah, he's going to win this time. He's going to detach. He's going to get up that block, right? No. They still were able to own him in the run game. So if you think that I'm picking on Jerry Tillery, find me a play where he makes a tackle in the run game. Okay, please. At the line of scrimmage or around the line of scrimmage. All right, so there was a ton of opponent errors in this one. This one ended up being a false start or illegal formation. Yeah, here we go. 81 is still moving. He's still moving when the ball is snapped. They ended up calling this one back. That would have been a touchdown. Instead, they had to settle for a field goal, okay, because the guy is moving. Here's another one, okay. He's like, wait, you want me to snap it? And Jones is like, yeah, snap it. These guys are all moving around. 71 is picking his butt up and down. Okay, they get called for a false start. Okay, kills their drive. Here's another one. Okay, one of these guys jumps. 75 jumps. He shifts up a little bit in his stance, and just unforced errors. You usually don't see a Patriots team do it, and the rate with which that they were doing it was really killing their drives. Another thing, drops. Okay, they had quite a few drops in this one. All right. Here's a really crucial one. They're trying to show cover zero blitz, simulated pressure. They end up dropping Deron Harmon out of there into the post. They end up dropping Meek Robertson to the deep third. But because they're both dropping from cover zero looks, the seam is wide open, okay, down the middle of the field. Look at this, beautiful, okay, and he just drops a dime, okay. I mean, it's right to his hands. So, a drive killer, okay. Here's another one. This isn't a drop. This is just, there was a couple of times where I noticed Mac Jones maybe, not seeing everything that he could see. Tyler Hall gets beat, okay. We get this big stem inside to the hash. He thinks, okay, we're getting a crosser. Sells out for it. Falls down. This guy is wide open for a touchdown. Okay, Mac Jones, just right as Tyler Hall falls down, Mac Jones drops his eyes and runs, scrambles for like 8 yards. Okay, and this is the funniest one. Funniest unforced error. I'll just let it rock here. I wonder what's going through 16's head. That was a very strange thing to do. But I mean,
he thought Mac was by himself. He said
Chandler Jones, was he hiding? Chandler Jones must have been hiding on the logo. Yeah, he was. He couldn't see him because he was standing on the black. Beautiful.
Why were they trying to tackle him, Stevenson? Why would they just let him run like that?
I don't know. That was, yeah. Anyways, all right. So, really, Raiders got away with one. Now let's talk about Amik Robertson. Okay, let's go through his tape. We're going to go through every single target that Amik Robertson, got faced with in this game. Bottom of the screen, he's in off coverage, ends up being man off. Okay, and he's going to get a sluggo. Top of the screen, bam, bam. Okay, and that's a beautiful route. There's no wasted movement on that route. And if you do get beat, you do have to hold on sometimes as a corner. And I want you to notice Amik Robertson's, the color of his gloves. Okay, what's the color of his gloves, Marcus? Do you see this on your screen?
They're white.
Okay, they're white because Amik Robertson, he likes to grab jersey. So he's going to coordinate the color of his gloves with the jersey. Now, Casey Hayward, if you remember the Raiders corner from last year, he would match his glove color to his opponent's pants. So in this case, Casey Hayward would be wearing black gloves because his opponent has dark pants on, right? Because Casey Hayward liked to grab around the waist. I prefer that method than grabbing jersey because when you get caught grabbing jersey, it's pretty obvious with the jersey tug, okay, that you're pulling. Okay, so I much prefer to grab around the waist. So he got caught holding on right there. They get him down here on the goal line. They're going to go ahead and target him at the top of the screen. Okay, he needs to redeem himself because he gave up that defensive pass interference. Okay, so you see, watch his feet on the inside. Okay, he's staying square, and look at the transition. This is a beautiful transition. Okay, to take that first step and then kick his hips in front on the slant, fight for that position. He said, like, nah, the goal line is my position. You're not taking that from me. And then deflect the pass. That's a great play in man coverage against a slant. Okay, bottom of the screen. Let's see, we're getting man coverage again. Outside leverage, okay? And watch Amik Robertson's feet, man. He's just taken a lot of steps technically in the last few weeks. Watch his feet here. He's doing such a fantastic job of staying square. I talk about this all the time. Look how square he is. He's not tripping at all about getting beat deep. Why? Because the sticks are over here. And he knows this guy's going to break in. He's going to break out. And if Amik Robertson was bailing, he was opening his hips, and he was sitting on the fade right here because he's worrying about getting beat deep, okay, he gives up a catch right here. But because he fights to stay square, gets a little bit of a reroute, okay, is going to slow down the timing of this. Just throw this off just a little bit, and then he finishes by raking the catch point on the sideline, gets a little force out, prevents that from potentially being a catch. It would have been a tough catch either way, though. All right, top of the screen. He's in man coverage again. This one gets deflected, okay, but I really think that he would end up with a pass defense on this play if it got to him. Watch his footwork again, fighting to stay square, man coverage. As soon as this guy's foot's in the ground, his foot's in the ground, no wasted movement. No bucket step. This is a textbook break. Bam, bam. 1-2. In and out. We're not wasting motion stepping behind us. So I do think that would have ended up being, he would have contested that catch if it wasn't broken up. So again, great technique. Top of the screen. This one's a tough one. Okay, he's in man coverage. Step, kick his feet, hands. Where are the hands? The hands never come on. So that's my problem with this rep. We're playing press man. You are making it so difficult playing press man without ever touching the guy. Okay, like think about that. You're playing the hardest coverage in all of football. Okay, and you're not even going to get a reroute, and that's like the whole benefit of the coverage. So you're taking away the whole the benefit of the coverage is you can be physical. We don't see him get physical. Okay, and I think, hey, at this point, we got to get him. We're on his upfield shoulder. We're good. Close that space. Wire him to the sideline. Start being physical, slowing him down before you start worrying about where the ball is and getting your head around. Okay, I admire that Amik likes to get his head around. And he definitely does that more than any Raiders DB playing on the outside, at least. Okay, but you also got to, do the little things and get the reroute. So that one ended up being called back. Ended up being reversed when they challenged it. Right? That's how it went down.
They
called it a catch. They called it a catch originally, then they ended up reversing it. So technically, not a catch for Amik Robertson here. Okay, haven't seen him give up one yet. There we go, bottom of the screen. This time looks like we're playing some zone instead. Okay, so this is the first zone rep that we get. He's in cover 3. Okay, and this is the benefit of cover 3 is now finally, you know what you can do? You can sit on the fade. Okay, you don't have to fight to stay square. You're just sitting on the fade in cover 3, and that's exactly what he does. Okay, I would like him to do a better job of finding this guy's body at some point, getting his body on him and pinning him to the sideline with his back on his on this guy. But he never finds his body, but he ends up just finding the ball in the air, playing wide receiver and going up for it. Okay, that's a beautiful play on the ball. Okay, when the ball is in the air, at the end of the day, there's only so much you can coach a guy. It's whether or not he's a baller or not. And so Amik Robertson came down with a contested catch, breakup, beautiful play. All right, and I believe this is going to be the last one. Okay, this is a long yardage situation into the game. Raiders are in what looks like to be some kind of man look. I'm not entirely sure. They get a weird look, kind of a spread out bunch here, so they're going to end up. They are locking it. Okay, but from far off. So this is man. This is cover 5 Tampa, technically. This is what this is called, because you got this high hole player here. Anyways, Amik Robertson, top of the screen. He's going to get the out route. Okay, so he does a great job planting his foot in the ground. Good transition. And now what we talk about, fighting for position. He's cutting this guy off. He's putting his body in front of the wide receiver and saying, hey, if you want to get to the sideline, you got to go through me to do it, right? So he cuts this guy off and boxes him out on the sideline for this. So again, even though he's a little guy, when the ball's in the air, okay, he does a solid job finding it, pulling it in the air. Amik Robertson, shout out, kudos. This is definitely his best game as a pro. We saw a grand total of 0 catches happen just there. The only play he gave up was when he tugged under the jersey and gave it the first down on the goal line with pass interference. Technically, that's the only play he gave up to the offense. Every single other one we just saw right there, all the targets were incompletions. So incredible game from Amik Robertson. I was really impressed with him, mostly playing man coverage. I know that you mentioned, I thought about this the entire time. When you went to training camp, you saw Amik Robertson in the one-on-ones. You said he looked good. You said he looked hot out there. So, I was looking at this game and I was thinking, okay, this I'm finally seeing what Marcus was seeing.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of the tough player that I saw at training camp. That was, locking some of the good players up, man. I thought he really looked really good at training camp. I mean, even a lot of the buzz at training camp was that he was emerging as a starter. So, we've seen a lot of good moments from him this year. I mean, to be honest, I mean,
yeah, sure.
From overall, I mean, he's definitely improved. I mean, he's definitely not the same guy we saw last year. So that's really a good thing to see that he is improving. Because I know is this year 3? He's still a 2020 guy, isn't he? I think he's one of the last one. He's the he's the he's the last 2020 dog sitting over there. So I mean, they still have.
Wait, last year was his rookie year, right?
No, last year was his second year.
Last year was his second year. Okay.
Yeah. So, his second. This is his third year in the NFL. We're starting to see some growth from him. Yeah. So, you don't have to worry about contracts or anything with him next year. I mean, he's going to be on the roster. So, if they want to bring him back, and definitely has given his chance to, maybe try to get a starting spot on this roster. But I don't know what if they bring Rock back. I don't know what the deal with that. Or how they even evaluate Nate Hobbs. I know fans love Nate Hobbs, but it's going to be interesting how they evaluate him overall. So we'll see what they do at the cornerback position. This will be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Sidney Jones, they bring him in and dime. He gets abused. He's been getting abused every week when they bring him in and dime. They go straight for just Sidney Jones, and he just gets torched. It's terrible to see that, honestly. So I'm feeling for that guy. Hopefully he can get his confidence back. But I know he hasn't played a lot of ball. He's been banged up a lot of his career. Mm-hmm. But so I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. Is Andrew Billings going to get back? Did they say anything about that? Do you know how he's
I don't know if he missed practice today. I think they're from the injury report today. I didn't see him on NFL.com. So maybe he's was back in practice. But I do want to point out, you brought up Andrew Billings. So to the right side, this is just using PFF stats. To the right side, they had 13 carries out of their 19 carries for 124 yards to the right side. That's a game plan. I don't know. I put that on Twitter, and somebody was like trying to say they're trying to stick up for Max and whatever happened on the play. I was like, man, yeah. It was a game plan though. You missed the tweet where I said it was part of the game plan for them to run at Jerry Tillery.
Yeah, for sure.
That was a game plan. That's what I was watching before, because I watch the defense before I do the go on the radio and do the other radio stuff. So just don't sound like an idiot. But so when I was watching, I was like, my God, they are running right at Jerry Tillery. Like every time he's on the field, they're like, we're going power.
Check. Let's check into a double team.
There's 90. There's 90.
You're right. I hope they did that for sure. We can't forgive Jerry Tillery. We can't forgive Jerry Tillery.
Yeah, he knocked the ball out of somebody's head. We could make fun of Jerry Tillery. He knocked the ball out of somebody's head. But we had a second 19. They're about to go home. We'd be 7-7 probably if Jerry Tillery was a team.
Right. We're looking good right now. Okay. We're looking like the Jets. You feel me? We're looking, it's okay, it could happen. So yeah, Jerry Tillery, no love lost. Hopefully he's not here next year. Goodbye, Jerry Tillery. So until then, get some sacks, injure a quarterback, something, but
injure a quarterback.
100%.
He's something productive, man. I brought the Chargers fans to my tweet. I mean, I was like, it was like a Chargers and Raiders fans came together for Jerry Tillery hate. It was an interesting moment.
Yeah.
A family for a second.
Yeah,
over Jerry Tillery.
The Raiders fans and the bots, right? Because Chargers fans don't exist. So let's not get started.
And the Russian Federation.
Yeah. It's a bunch of friggin' hacker collective or something like that. That was impersonating Chargers fans.
No. I just believe they're all 15-year-old kids. That's what I say.
Okay, yeah. Oh, they're children. They're children. Okay, yeah.
They're 15-year-old Justin Herbert fans.
Yeah, that's what it is. Guaranteed. Fair enough.
100%. All right. Any last thoughts? I did get a question. Somebody wanted to ask me about Luke Masterson. They wanted to know how Luke Masterson looked.
Not good. So Luke Masterson, my biggest issue with him was playing the run, right?
Yeah.
And he definitely didn't help out with this run defense. There wasn't, much that he did that I could point to and be like, okay, yeah, this is, happening for him. Because, if he did make a good play against the run, it would be like, it was following like 3 or 4 bad plays against the run, or just not looking too hot against the run. Guys were getting on him, but guys are getting up on Denzel Perryman and pushing him around too. So it wasn't a great game again for Denzel Perryman either. I can't jump on Masterson too much. And then in coverage, there was a couple instances where he was definitely the one at fault for that void that we're seeing that Mac Jones is throwing to. So he's got to polish that up too. He's just got to know where his assignments are, know where to be. But he has the ability when it's like that play that he made to the back out into the flat. He has the ability where it's just like, hey, I don't have to think too hard. Like the guy's out there, that's my guy. Like I can just pull the trigger. He's gonna go for it. And I think that he's taller guy who can run. So he's got that. He's got what you want, like 6'2", and he can run pretty good, right? So he's got that as far as that goes. But got to be able to lock out against guards and in the run game occasionally. Just do that. We got to see him do that occasionally. If we're going to say like he's going to play linebacker all the time for us.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Well, I really ain't got nothing else. Happy holidays. We definitely do some Steelers preview. I was just talking to my man Derek, so he's gonna give us some Steelers rundown.
Oh yeah. We got to do that. All right, maybe we can do a little special show. But that's on Friday, right? The game.
No, the game's Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay. Christmas Eve. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so we gotta get that preview. Got to get that preview done. All right, Christmas Eve game. Let's
Christmas Eve, and then against the Steelers. So be on the lookout for that. And of course, we got some shorts out there. Check out those. And of course, we keep with the breakdowns for you guys. So make sure to subscribe button. I think the Raiders, you guys know where to come for the draft. We got the draft stuff for you. So, that's already coming. I'm already loading up. You know what I'm saying? Definitely getting, it might be a little boring early on with some guards and some tackles, but, PFF.com said all the Raiders fans who are using the mock draft there are trying to get a tackle. So you guys been trashing me all year, and then you go on behind me and try to get a tackle. I see what you guys are trying to do. I see it. All right.
Wow. Low down.
I see you guys. I see it. I see you. All right. So we're out of here, guys. Appreciate it.
Peace, y'all.